The cafeteria roared with lunchtime chatter, a chaotic orchestra of laughter, gossip, and clinking trays. But at the far end of the room, at the smallest table near the trash cans, sat a girl who barely made a sound. Her name was Alina. Thin-framed, hunched over, her long dark hair curtained her face as she carefully unwrapped a tightly packed aluminum foil. Inside was a meal she had cooked herself: lentils, rice, and a few slices of boiled eggs. It wasn't the kind of food anyone else in school brought, and she knew that. She always made sure to eat quickly and quietly. But that day, someone noticed. What is that smell?" Madison sneered as she walked by, her group of popular girls trailing close behind. She leaned over Alina's table with mock curiosity. "Are you seriously eating that? What is this, hamster food?" The group erupted in laughter. Alina froze, her fork midair. She didn't say a word. She never did. "Bet her family eats rats," Madison added cruelly, flicking one of the egg slices off Alina's tray and onto the floor. The cafeteria wasn't laughing now. Some students looked on in silence, others awkwardly turned away. But Alina slowly placed her fork down. She lifted her head, and for the first time, people saw her eyes. They were calm. Dead calm. "Pick it up," Alina said, her voice low but firm. Madison blinked, caught off guard. "Excuse me." Alina stood. Not aggressively. Not dramatically. But with purpose. She stepped around the table and stood in front of Madison, who, for the first time in her life, felt something strange. Intimidation. "I said," Alina repeated, "pick it up." The room held its breath. Madison scoffed and tried to laugh it off. "What are you going to do? Cry? Go call your mommy." Alina didn't answer. She just moved. One hand swept Madison's arm away with stunning speed, twisting her wrist slightly, not enough to hurt her, but enough to show control. With her other hand, she pointed to the egg on the floor. Madison's face went red. "You freak." But her voice cracked. Alina let her go and stepped back, her eyes still locked onto Madison's. That wasn't a request. The bell rang before things could escalate, and the students rushed out, whispers buzzing like bees. What no one knew was that Alina wasn't just a shy girl with weird food. She was the daughter of a decorated Delta Force operator. After her father was killed in a mission overseas, she had trained privately for years: hand-to-hand combat, survival, discipline. Her uncle, also Delta, had raised her after that. Not to fight. But to never be a victim. She had switched schools after her last foster home relocated her, hoping for a fresh start. But the bullying that always seemed to follow. That day after school, rumors flew. Madison, clearly embarrassed, started spinning the story: "She grabbed me. Like psycho military ninja stuff. She's crazy." But some students started seeing Alina differently. Not just weird. Not just quiet. Strong. The next few days were a blur of tension. Madison's group avoided Alina like the plague, but one of them, a girl named Rhea, approached her during lunch. She didn't say much, just sat across from Alina and looked at her food. "My grandmother makes something like this. In Bangladesh." Alina blinked, surprised. Rhea smiled gently. "Can I try a bite?" That moment changed everything. Word spread. Students started coming to her with questions, not about fighting, but about strength. About focus. About how she stayed so calm. Alina never boasted. Never talked about her training unless asked. But slowly, quietly, she began teaching a few students after school. Not how to fight, how to be confident. How to breathe through panic. How to carry yourself with purpose. Even the teachers began noticing the change. Disciplinary incidents dropped. Students stood up for each other more. Bullying didn't vanish, but the culture started to shift. Alina never sought revenge. Her mission wasn't punishment, it was awakening. Months later, during a school assembly, the principal surprised everyone by announcing a new student-led peer strength program, built from Alina's after-school sessions. Rhea stood beside her on stage, along with 3 others who had once mocked her but now followed her lead. Alina scanned the crowd. Madison was there too, arms crossed, bitter as ever. But Alina smiled anyway. Because true strength isn't about defeating enemies. It's about turning fear into power, and helping others do the same. The quietest girl in school had become its strongest voice. And she did it not by fighting back, but by standing tall. Message: never judge someone by how quiet they are. The loudest power is sometimes the one you never hear coming.